One of the first aspects of martial arts in terms of striking or pugilism is the ability to transfer impact into your opponent. So certain punches that are very, very structured and very, very linear, like a karate punch or a taekwondo punch, create a lot of momentum. So the objective is to become very fast, so the amount of time that your weapon strikes is very short, so therefore you impart all that momentum very quickly in a very short amount of time. But I found that through a lot of other systems, Tai Chi Chuan and certain Kung Fu styles, your ability to strike uses a similar principle of striking very fast and very strong. But when you strike, you remove your structure from the actual impact. So once you've hit, you hit very relaxed and very, very soft and very heavy. When you finally make the impact and you make your tension, you completely draw your body away. So you've struck and your body becomes very relaxed. What this does is it takes the structure in which you'd get the equal and opposite reaction, forcing itself back into you. This means that when you strike, you're getting more or less 90% of the impact imparting into your opponent, and that's what you want. You want to strike someone and not take as much of that force back into yourself when you're striking, whether it's your palms or your hammer or your fist. So the easiest way to explain this is you need to feel like when you punch, you sneeze. It's a principle called Fa Jing. When you strike, you tense from your stomach, just below your stomach, an area called the dantian, and it explodes outwards and then just dissipates, it disappears, so you don't need to have that rest and regain period. So as a rule of thumb, you do your strike, and then sneeze on impact and completely relax after that, and this allows you to be in a nice position to fight from there or shoot, take down, or whatever you want. So you can do everything from the same structure as a boxing or Muay Thai stance. So when you're set into your position for your fight, it allows you to set up with other strikes, explode out with one of the Fa Jing applications, or coming around with a hammer fist. And the beauty of this is it allows a really good transport formation, which is boxing and Muay Thai. Most of the hand striking systems have a really good transport system. It's just stepping. It's a walking, stepping principle. So it outclasses a lot of other systems which take very long stances, even ninjutsu to an extent. So having a more of a mixed martial arts standpoint in terms of transportation is the best aspect that you can use, I think. Then you start to be able to apply different arts into there. So you can apply some Chi Na from certain applications of Kung Fu, or some Aikido, or some Muay Thai, or whatever you want. You start to be able to add to that transport system. But for me, the transport system of mixed martial arts is the best, or boxing. Now, when you strike and you allow that Fa Jing to explode out, you get a sinking feeling. So you've hit and there's this drop, and that's a perfect time to go in for like a single leg pick or a single leg takedown. So you've struck, you drop the body weight, drop the shoulder into the groin or into the hip joint, make your small circle, lay them down, you're straight into side control or into any sort of finishing technique that you want. But it allowed you to strike from a lot shorter distance. So you're imparting a lot more impact over a shorter distance, and that's the key of Fa Jing. So you don't need to be wound all the way up and using as much velocity and traveling a great distance to gain that energy. You can literally do it from an inch or even touching. You put yourself into a position like you're grappling, put your hand into a nice vulnerable spot, and then little explosion, it pops all that energy out. A lot more energy sometimes than a big strong punch, because it's turning into impact instead of transferring most of it into momentum. So momentum pushes and impact drops. That's a good rule of thumb to remember. So as much impact as you can put into your target, the better. And it means that the fight's going to be shorter, so you won't be as tired. Thanks again, guys, and we will see you next week.